In the midnight hour, I can feel your power, just like a prayer. You know I'll take you there. Welcome back, everybody. We had a record-breaking week as far as number of sales this week, which is awesome. A couple weeks back, you guys might remember, I hit my 100th sale right before I started filming, and this morning I got my 150th sale when I woke up. So my 90-day anniversary on eBay is coming up here in August, and it's now my goal to make 200 sales by August 11th. I think I can do it. I just got to keep up the same pace I've got going now, but I'm really excited. And I just got a phone call from a woman who owns rentals in the area, and she says she has a lot of merchandise she would like to give me, and she only has this afternoon to meet up. So I'm going to speed run through this. I hope you guys don't mind. I still have a lot of stuff I want to talk about, so I'm going to jump right into the numbers. This week's return on investment is 505% with a net profit margin of 49%. We had a $496 gross income, which equals out to a $253 net income. As you can see, we had a weird week where the middle of the week was super busy this week, and we had one day that broke over $100 in sales. I didn't get skunked on any day. Sales were actually really steady this week. It was fantastic. I'm really excited about that. Moving on to the top 10 sources by return on investment. Garage sales pulling in strong this week. eBay sales is number 2. So I talked about this last week. I started sourcing from eBay. Sunglasses. In 3 sales alone, I have already made 50% of my investment back. I have 3 more sunglasses to sell, and I will have broken even, and I will be sitting on 30 pairs of sunglasses still. So I'm really liking this plan going into winter. It's something that's sustainable, and it's sourcing through eBay. It's fantastic. Then 2 St. Vinny's. I started processing some of the Green Bay merchandise, so we'll be seeing that coming up. For listing by sources, number 1 this week is eBay. I listed all the sunglasses, the rest of the sunglasses that I had. All 36 are now listed. Salvation Army is number 2. Home, a lot of video games. I'm trying to get all my video games listed so they're up for sale, and we sold quite a few of them this week. And then some thrift stores from the Green Bay trip, rounding it out. Active listings by source. A lot of items under $20 listed this week, but they're hot selling items and they're moving really fast. And then I had 18 items between the $20 and $50 range. I exceeded my goal of 8 listings a day and stayed super consistent throughout the week, having 76 new listings, which converted into finally breaking the number 19 sales for the week. And I got 20 sales during this week. The average time for an item to sell in my store was 20 days, and the total money I spent on inventory this week was $184. Jumping into the number 10. Number 10 sale this week is new without tags Green Bay Packers New Era 950 2023 Sideline NFL Snapback Cap. Now, this is one of the first pieces of merchandise from the Green Bay sourcing trip. I purchased this at a St. Vinny's in Green Bay. I purchased it for $4.09. I picked up a lot of Green Bay New Era hats while I was there because they were really cheap, and they were all brand new. Some had tags, some didn't, but none of them have ever been worn. This one sold on eBay for $24.05, which is $18 for the hat and $6.05 for the shipping. It had a fixed vinyl value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $2.97, an international fee of 40 cents. The cost to ship was $4.55, which was good enough for an $11.64 net return and a return on investment of 285%, good enough for a 48% net profit margin. The number 9 sale of the week is this Rosinell Trucker Cap Snapback Green Snowboard Ski Touring Outdoor Hiking. Keywords. Keywords are huge when selling a product, everyone. So make sure whenever you are selling a product, you know the correct keywords for them when you post them on eBay. I picked this up at a local thrift store for $3.09. It sold on eBay for $23.95, $18 for the hat, $5.95 for the shipping. It had a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $3.14. It did sell on an ad, so I owed eBay 51 cents. The cost to ship this item was $4.43, which was good enough for a $12.38 net return, which is a 401% return on investment, good enough for a 52% net profit margin. Number 8 sale of the week, as we discussed in a previous episode, is this Faberware 8-cup percolator interior parts only. You might remember me talking about how I got the percolator returned. The woman said that the electricals didn't work. It only ran for 5 minutes and then it would shut off, never actually completing a full pot. As I discussed, I literally stripped anything electronical off it and took all the other parts, and I listed them on eBay for parts. The first piece sold for that, and considering the original price I paid for this, I divided it by the cost of the pieces. For these 3 pieces, the equate would have been 50 cents for all 3 of them. They sold on eBay for $21.63, which is $14.98 for the parts, and $6.65 for the shipping. They had a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $2.82. They did sell on an ad, so I owed eBay 46 cents. The cost to ship was $5. The net return is $12.45, which is good enough for a 2,490% return on investment, which is a 58% net profit margin. Number 7 sale of the week is this Travis Matthews hat, flex fit size, large, extra large. I picked this up while sourcing in Green Bay for $4.06. It sold on eBay for $26 even, $20 for the hat, $6 for the shipping. It had a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $3.48. Did sell on an ad, so I owed eBay 56 cents. Cost to ship was $4.47, which was good enough for a $13.03 net return, which is a 320% return on investment and a 50% net profit margin. Number 6 sale of the week is this Tommy Bahama 100% silk short sleeve shirt. Picked this up at a St. Vinny's for $3.09. It sold on eBay for $25.90, which is $19 for the shirt and $6.90 for the shipping. It had a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $3.38. The cost to ship this shirt was $5.45. That was good enough for a net return of $13.58, which is a return on investment of 439%, which is a 52% net profit margin. The number 5 sale of the week is F-Zero for Super Nintendo. This is an item from home, so cost of goods was $0 on this one. It sold on eBay for $21.13. That's $15.98 for the game and $5.15 for the shipping. It had a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $2.75. This did sell on an ad, so I owed eBay 45 cents. And the cost to ship this item was $3.86. Good enough for a net return of $13.67, infinite return on investment with a net profit margin of 65%. Number 4 sale of the week is this 3D light from Marvel Spider-Man. I picked this up at a local St. Vincent's for $3.09. It's sold on eBay for $28.60. That's $20 for the light and $8.60 for the shipping. It had a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $3.74. The cost to ship this item was $7.43, which was good enough for a $13.94 net return, which is a 451% return on investment and a net profit margin of 49%. The number 3 sale of the week is this Travis Matthew Green Bay Packers men's trucker hat flex fit 110. I love selling hats, sunglasses, and vintage electronics. If I could find those 3 things in abundance, I would be the happiest eBay reseller in the world. I like hats because they're light, they're easy to ship, and if you find the right ones, they're really profitable. Green Bay, man, was that a honey hole for hats. And they had a whole bunch of brand new Green Bay hats that I don't know why I just didn't fill my cart up with all the hats and just buy them all. I didn't. I went through and I picked out the ones that I thought were the nicest and the best. I did look up a few of them, so I knew they were going to sell pretty quickly. This one, I couldn't find any comp sold data on it, but it's Green Bay Packers. It's Travis Matthews, and this, out of all the, I listed all the hats at the same time, and this literally sold in two, as you can see on the screen, it sold in 2 hours. This was the first hat to sell, and the gentleman hit me up. I listed it for the $24.98, and I had a message, and it says, whenever you get a message on eBay, it says you have a message from this person about this item. And I was like, okay, they're going to probably want to offer me a deal. And I opened it up, and they were like, they had genuine questions about the hat, and which was great because it makes me learn more about the product of hats. And through that process, I answered all of the guy's questions. I sent him pictures that he didn't ask for, and he was super appreciative of it. And once we got done and I answered all of his questions, he's like, the hat, he's like, I'm gonna buy it right now, just so you know. Like in the message, he's like, I didn't want you to think like I was wasting your time. And I really appreciated like the fact that he said that. And he purchased the hat for $30.88. That's $24.98 for the hat, and $5.90 for the shipping. It had a fixed vinyl value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $4.10. It sold on an ad, so I owed eBay 66 cents. The cost to ship was $4.38, which was good enough for a $17.25 net return, which is a 422% return on investment, equaling a 56% net profit margin. Number 2 sale of the week is this Black & Decker HS80 Type 4 handy steamer. As you remember last week, I told you I was running an experiment with this particular product. I bought 2 identical ones. I listed one as the complete item, and then the other one I parted out. Last week we sold our first part for, I want to say $8 is what we made on that one. And I purchased them both. One I purchased for $2, and this one I purchased for $1.50 at a garage sale. And I wanted to see which one was more advantageous, selling an item whole or parting it out. And I said we were just going to wait and see how it all sold out. Well, we don't have to wait for the full unit. The full unit did sell on eBay for $37.23, which was $19.98 for the steamer and $17.25 for the shipping. It had a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $4.83. It did sell on an ad, so I owed eBay 78 cents. The cost to ship was $11.34. The net return was $18.38, which was good enough for a 1,225% return on investment, which is a 49% profit margin. Now, as we sell off the pieces, what I'm curious to find out is A, how long does it take for all the pieces to sell? And what is our net profit going to be from all the pieces selling individually as opposed to selling the whole unit? Now, what I'm imagining in my head, what my guess would be, is it's probably going to take about 6 months to sell all the pieces individually. But I got a feeling the net return is going to probably be either double or just below double the net return on selling the item individually. So this goes back to the age-old eBay question: do you want a quick nickel or a slow dime? And we're going to see which one in the long run plays out. I was really surprised when I saw this one sold. I was like, wow, that went quicker than I thought. I thought the whole unit was going to take me probably, 3 or 4 months to sell as the complete unit, but it sold in about 1 month. So I thought that was really interesting. Stay tuned to this show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can see how this thrilling installment of the rice steamer plays out. And the number 1 sale of the week is this blue JVC Everio camcorder. I purchased this camcorder when I was in the Navy, and I was in England, at a base in England, and I stopped at the local PX, which is like on a military base. It's their version of Walmart. And they had this camera on sale, and this would have been 2010, 2011. And I've had this camera. This was the camera that documented all my military goings on and like traveling and stuff like that. So this camera has been kind of a sentimental piece that's been sitting in my house. I mean, I obviously haven't used it in years, but I've kept it in good condition. I've kept it in the case. It's like brand new. It still works. Have the charger, the batteries. I actually bought a new battery for it probably 2 years ago. I think I had some, like, I was going to use this for something, probably hunting, and I just never did. And I upgraded and got better equipment. That and all of our cell phones now are like the best cameras on the planet. So This has always just been kind of sitting on the shelf, and I finally made the decision that I was going to let it go about a month ago, and I listed it, and it sold on eBay for $57.45. That's $45 for the camera and $12.45 for the shipping. It had a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $5.53. It did sell on an ad, so I owed eBay $1.23. The cost to ship this item was $8.29. That was good enough for a $42 net return, which is an infinite return on investment and a 73% net profit margin, which is fantastic. Sad to see this item go, but I hope it goes to a new home that's going to use it. It brought me a lot of joy in my mid to late 20s. I hope it's being passed on to somebody who's going to appreciate it and use it to capture the memories of their lives. And that is our top 10 sales of the week. As far as any discussions I wanted to have about the week, I did put out my first ever Thrift With Me, Source With Me video this Wednesday, and the reviews on that are very positive. I really appreciate you guys watching that. It was super interesting to make, having a GoPro strapped to my chest and walking around in public. The one thing I didn't expect was that I was going to be in the first store for an hour, and I let it run the whole time, and it killed the battery. But I picked up two USB battery packs, so we should avoid that problem in the future. And I do plan on making more. One thing about sourcing videos, though, they're not going to come out day of or the day after like this last one did. I'm going to take my time editing those, because editing is the most time eating process in the YouTube video making process. And I want to put out a good product that you guys are really going to enjoy watching. And I felt like I was rushing myself to get that out the door, because I'm excited to make this content for you. But I think for the future, the sourcing videos, I'm not going to rush the editing process, and I'm going to take my time with it. And I want to like add in the sales, like comp sold data on the screen like you see on other channels, because I think that is super informative. Like I said, I got a call this morning from a lady who owns local rentals, and she called me up because we built a relationship when we met out when I was sourcing. And she called me and said, hey, I got a lot of stuff I'd like you to look at. She started listing out some of the things, and I'm like, yep, that's right up my alley. And she told me, well, come on over and take what you want. So I'm going to edit this video, get it up, and then I'm going to head over there and see what treasures I can find. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. If you're new here and you've enjoyed the content, it would be greatly appreciated if you press the subscribe button. If you enjoyed the content, like the video, that helps out. If you didn't like the content, press the thumbs down. I can understand that I'm not for everybody, and make sure you get your voice heard. What else do we got going on? College is going great. Still maintaining an A average in all my classes. And I think that's all I got for this week, guys. I've been extremely busy this week, between sourcing, editing, listing. Me and my brother helped my dad put up another fence. So just a busy week. I'm really enjoying it. And I got to tell you, there's my big message for the week. I could tell you 3 months ago, I was not a happy person. I was miserable, and it was eating me inside. And as you guys know, I lost my job, and it brought me into this magical world of eBay reselling and making videos for YouTube. And I got to tell you, I have never made less money and been more happy in my life. So my message is, if you're in an unhappy place in your life, start making the changes to be happy. Start setting yourself up for success to get to a point where you're doing something that makes you happy. Life's too short to be doing something that makes you miserable daily. Find your happy place. And nothing's ever going to be perfect. Everything's going to have its trials and tribulations, and that's what makes you a better person. So, but just start working on the groundwork to start pointing your life in a happier direction if you're not happy right now. And if you are happy right now, keep doing what you're doing. You guys figured it out, and I'm learning real quick, and I'm figuring it out real quick on the fly. And I'm glad you guys are getting to see the weekly journey of me discovering it and figuring out. As always, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will answer them throughout the week. It's one of my favorite things, is responding to YouTube comments throughout the week. Yeah, that's it. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you guys have a great week to come. And for sure, we'll see you next Sunday. And depending on how long it takes me to edit the next sourcing video, I might see you before, might not. Don't know. Have a great week, guys. Good enough for a $13.67